This is an arrest warrant. Even though he's, in custody, it's still an arrest warrant. I want to bring in Duncan Levin because lucky for us, it just so happened he was teaching at Harvard really close by and had the ability to drive in and give us a very smart assessment of where we're at in this case. And I know it's early. And I know that, you're a prosecutor and a defense attorney both. But this evidence that we've seen till now is overwhelmingly damning. People will say, but it's circumstantial, like that's a bad thing. Why is that not?
There are so many cases that are circumstantial. If I told you that it was raining outside and I walked inside and I was covered in water and I had an umbrella up, you would reach the conclusion that it was raining outside too, even if you didn't see the rain itself. It's something that's human nature. And in this case, all of the different pieces of it are so damning. But the one piece that's missing is the body. And that is going to be what the defense focuses on while the prosecution is saying this isn't circumstantial. It is a circumstantial case. Circumstantial is not a bad word. There are a lot of cases that are circumstantial. Most cases are. But
most evidence people don't see murders happen. Most evidence people don't see rapes happen. Most evidence comes in, and you've got to be reasonable at a jury and make that leap. And sometimes the chasm is tiny.
Well, the biggest challenge that the prosecution faces is the actual murder itself, and that has to be proven also. There are two things that the prosecution has to prove here. Number one, that there was a murder, and number two, that Ana Walshe was the one who committed it. The second part of it actually is the easier part, which is very rare for a case to come that easy. The circumstantial pieces of it, between the weapons being found, the blood, the Google searches. Who Googles how to dismember a 115-pound body? And the fact is that she was 115 pounds.
Can we just stop down there to suggest how remarkably stupid that, I mean, just how remarkably stupid it is for somebody to think they can get away with any of this, especially pulling a move like that, if that's in fact what he did. I do want to ask you this, because so many times people will say, this looks like a slam dunk, right? Yeah. That's what people said about Casey Anthony, slam dunk. And there were jurors who said, but hold it. I haven't been told how this killing happened, how this murder happened, how the child died. And in this case, that could be the thing that hangs up a jury. They're looking for reasonable doubt, and sometimes jurors think they're looking for doubt.
Yeah, well, there's no such thing as a slam dunk case. As any lawyer will tell you, when you take a case in front of a jury, there's always some problem on some side of this. Here, the problem with the case is a glaring one, which is the murder itself. But there could be any number of problems with forensics, with the DNA evidence, with the cell phone technology. Both sides are likely to call expert witnesses to get into all of that. And so we're far from the finish line here, even though when everyone looks at it, they say, well, how could you be this bad at planning a murder? This is the opposite of a perfect murder.
I also want to ask you about that last thing you just said, planning a murder. So many people will say, well, gosh, look at, if this is true, if he actually went to these trash facilities, if he made all these efforts to lie and cheat and go where his, GPS monitor, wasn't GPS, but his ankle monitor wasn't going to let him go, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a premeditated murder. Plenty of people have gotten into fights and accidentally someone's died. And then the horrible behavior afterwards makes it look like they're premeditated murders. So talk to me a little bit of how this might be tricky. This might be really tricky to say it's a premeditated murder.
So everything that happened after the murder, we could say that. So you could say, well, he was just trying to cover up an accident. So when you're looking at the cleaning supplies, $450 of cash, he got scared in the moment he was cleaning up. But what is premeditation is everything that happened beforehand. Those Google searches are premeditation. And if I were the prosecutor in the case, that's what I'd be arguing. Premeditation.
Wait, the Google searches are premeditation on how to clean up the disaster that you caused. They're not premeditation on, I am going to take my living, breathing wife out, and then I'm going to do that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Doesn't it depend on when those Google searches were made? If they were made before a witness saw her alive, then yes. If they are made after a last witness saw her alive, then no.
I think here where the prosecution's likely to get into it is with this history of domestic violence, with the fact that she posted photos on her Instagram prior to this, which showed injuries, the fact that she was even vouching for him in his federal sentencing, showing that she was going through honeymoon phase with him, where she was going through injuries with him. And I think all of that's likely to come in at some point into this case.
What's weird, though, I'm not going to lie, is there's this bottle. Looks like a New Year's Eve bottle of champagne in a bag with a message written, presumably by Anna, because it says, "Love Anna," and it is so sweet. to her husband. 2023 is going to be the greatest. Look at us. We're still here. Let's make it the greatest. Compassion, etc. I'm going to read the actual message to you later in the show. But to me, that doesn't scream, my God, I'm afraid you're going to kill me.
And I think that's where educating the jury is going to come in, and what's going to be a critical part if this case gets to trial, which it likely is going to get to trial. I think that that's a very critical piece to educate the jury on domestic violence and the fact that it's not always a straight line. It's not always, people being angry and fighting all the time, that there are periods of time where people do make up, and I think that's what you're seeing.
Okay, and this last part, is a little tricky. I got 30 seconds left, but this is not a death penalty state. Massachusetts is not a death penalty state. You can't say to this guy, you better cut a deal or you're going to lose your life. So how hard do you think a prosecution is when you don't have that leverage? And I got about 20 seconds on this.
I think we may see a lot more evidence tomorrow that changes the game, but you're right. We don't really know. It's so early in the life of this case. He's being arraigned tomorrow. Both sides have to dig in and do a lot more investigation.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.